Hi everyone, this is Dr. Mike, host of the iTunes podcast, Psychiatric Secrets Revealed with Dr. Mike, once again talking about saving money, this time once again talking about netbooks, and can you use a netbook as a travel computer or even as your main computer. Today we're going to talk about this Samsung unit, which is the NC10. This is Samsung's entry into the notebook arena. You can see it kind of looks like a standard netbook, a little bit bigger because it has a bigger screen. They've done a few things to style it up a bit. You have this nice glossy top, which can come in several colors if you choose. And you have this silver bar that runs around the front, plus a bevy of lights that make it a little more attractive than your typical netbook. I would say it's not a 10 on the style profile, but it certainly is acceptable. Not quite as stylish, for instance, as the HP Mini Business version, which I showed you in an earlier little video. But let's take a look at the ports and everything and see what we got in this computer. By the way, this, if you shop some of the buy or e-cost type sites, this computer sells for a bit over $400, so it's a less expensive computer than the HP Mini Exec. Let's see what it's got. Well, here you have your power port, your Ethernet port, and you have two USB ports. As I showed you on the front, you have a lot of different light indicators up front here, plus over here you have an SD card reader. On this side, you have both a headphone and a speaker jack, and what I kind of like what Samsung does is they've actually used the color coding that we're kind of familiar with. A lot of times when they're both black or both the same color, it's sort of hard to find which is which, but this uses the colors, which I like a lot. Another USB ports. We have 3 USB ports total, which is really nice. And then you have a VGA output, and of course your locking port here. And this is your power switch here, which is a little more attractive, a little more sleek. On the inside, we have a nice little bit over 10-inch display. We have this keyboard, which they say is a 96% keyboard, so it's smaller, of course, than a typical keyboard, but it's very adequate to type on. And what they've done is they've really kind of made better depressions between the keys, separating it. I personally find that these keys are about the easiest out of the netbooks that I've tried for touch typing, so I think they're really excellent. And even with my big fingers, I can hit all these keys here. You have a separate function row up on top. They're not condensing a lot. The keyboard style is normal with regular size shift keys and an enter key, and the keys are where they should be. Below you have a little bit squeezed down mouse pad, but your mouse bar is below, which some people like, and even though you don't have a divot here, you press on one side, it's for one mouse, right and left mouse are available. Your speakers are tiny, and they're located below here and here. The sound from this particular machine is adequate, the volume is adequate, not as good as the HP models, not even as good as the HP Mini Exec, but certainly usable. Again, kind of hidden below there, I think takes away a little bit from the sound. The display, which I'll show you in a bit, is perfectly fine, about standard with most displays, and with that 10-inch display you get a little more real estate, so that's good. Up here you have a 1.3 megapixel camera, which works adequately well. It does come with a little software applet that you can use. Not as sophisticated as the HP Mini's application for the Mini Exec, but more than adequate. You only have a single mono microphone down here. Here again, I mean, that's about all you're going to need, so that doesn't make much difference either. They've done some unique things with this particular computer. The keys are coated with a silver compound to make them a little more bacterial static, or in other words, a little more resistant to carrying bacteria. How useful is it? I really can't tell you. Access below, easy to get at the memory. They have a gigabyte in this particular machine, but you can increase it up to 2 according to the web page. But it's not so easy to get to the hard drive on this one. You probably have to disassemble the computer. It has a 160 gigabyte hard drive, which they interestingly split into a C and a D drive, kind of just down the middle. I'm not quite sure why they did that, but that's okay. And then really importantly, they give you as part of the standard package, a 6-cell battery, which is going to last over 7 hours. So that's the real huge plus here. You get this big battery. So let's take a look at it with it on. Here it is with it on. It has this nice little kind of floral backdrop. The display is clear and easy to read and certainly bright enough. Let's take a look at a web page. So if we can find one here. I'm going to load up Internet Explorer. So here we are on the MSN web page. Very clear, easy to read text. If I do some scrolling, let's see if I get back on. Oh, I can't do that. We'll try getting to a different web page. I'll turn this so you can see it maybe. We'll just go to, let's go to the iTunes web page just for fun. And you can see that it's reasonably quick. There it is. Oh, it's giving me some information bars and stuff, so I think that's not too bad. It's certainly, if you use this particular computer, it's certainly going to be as quick as any other netbook. I have seen the performance. You can see it kind of scrolls pretty easily and all that. I've seen that the performance on this computer is comparable to the other computers that I've used of this caliber. It has the 1.6 Atom processor. Just could go to some pages here. We'll go to, see, went very quickly to my computer. If I go to the C drive, it's very quick. If I go to the program list, I know you probably can't see it. Oh, I think I just knocked it off. Oh, they're hidden. Let's show them. And there they are. So, you know, really very quick to kind of move around. Internet performance is very good. Running programs like Microsoft Office or OpenOffice, very good. I've done video on this for some training, no problem, worked very well. I would say this is probably one of my 2 favorite netbooks that I've tried so far. I reserve the right to change it as I try some more, but I think the HP Mini Exec is a really super computer. The Samsung is also a super computer. What's the difference? The Samsung is going to be just a little bit thicker. The HP comes up to about here, about the same width. So it's going to be a little bit thicker, but a little bit lighter. The Samsung, on its advantage side, is less expensive, and it has this bigger battery. So the battery is going to last longer. The HP features probably a little bit faster RPM on its hard drive. The HP also has that express port, which makes it a little bit more of a business class computer. Both of them have Bluetooth, by the way, which is another little nice extra. HP sound might be a little bit better. But I think all in all, if you're looking for a travel computer to take on business trips, both the HP Mini Exec and the Samsung have what it takes to actually make these usable computers. I think you could definitely use this as a home computer if you had very simple needs. Again, checking the internet, your email, doing some Word documents, that sort of things. These should handle it. There's enough disk space here with the 160 gigabyte hard drive to manage those sorts of issues. Remember, it is a netbook. It doesn't have a dual-core processor like a notebook. It is going to be slower. But generally, you don't really see that slowness in those types of applications. You're going to see it, for instance, when you try to load a program into the computer. That's going to be slower. And, of course, there's no optical drive, so you're going to have to get an external one if you need to use an optical drive. But I'd say thumbs up for the Samsung. Definitely a computer to consider.